Hi folks, welcome to Guitar to Crack. Today we're delighted to introduce you to Big Boy Snuffy, a dynamic, multi-talented artist from Trinidad and Tobago. In this episode we explored his journey in Ireland and his evolution as a musician as he's walked across a wide range of creative platforms, and this is his story. Hey yo G's, we're back again, and you know yourself, Guitar to Crack's bringing you the best from around the world in Dublin right now. So yeah, we're gonna have a little bit of a chat with a friend from Trinidad.
You don't know, it's Big Boy Snuffy. You know it is, out here in Dublin, Ireland, doing my thing. What's up, my brother?
What's happening? Good to have you, my G. One love, one love. So yeah, we're in Escobar studio again. We're about to rock and roll the Michael Crowley. Oh, my mind is gone. But anyways, so yeah, the first I'm gonna ask you, important questions have to be asked. Can you tell us about your journey from Trinidad to Ireland and how the move has shaped your sound and identity as an artist?
Well, to tell you, before I came to Ireland, I wasn't doing music. So I actually started doing music in Ireland. Ireland brought out that talent in me in the process I was going through while I was moving here, music is a reflection of expression, so it came from within, you're in an unfamiliar tongue, doing unfamiliar things, and I wanted to express myself in a way, and music came out, so that's how it started. I was on, what's this app, Veloco, with some iPhone headphones, recording, thinking I was on top of the world at that time. Obviously I grew and learned the music eventually, but yeah, that's how it was.
It's absolutely unbelievable. He's killing it, even from his outfit, even when he's on stage, he's just absolutely rocking it with the sound of Trinidad. Yeah. So the next one is music blends and genres like hip hop, R&B, pop, and rock. You do so many different things, my G, so many different art forms. So how do you balance these styles while still being true to your roots?
Well, you see, soca, calypso, those things are more rooted to my country. But my life journey it wasn't that stable like if I stayed in Trinidad my entire life. I actually moved to the United States when I was about 5 years old. So this is where my hip hop and the different genres of music came in, because before 5 I wasn't even listening to music. So in reality, my introduction to music came when I was in America, and I had a foster brother named Zachary, and when he came, he used to bring a lot of CDs. Like he used to listen to the Wu-Tang Clan, Mobb Deep, 50. Like he had a real good selection in music, like 36 Mafia. Like he loved 36 Mafia. So he didn't listen to no soft stuff, It was all hard, And then my sister, she was also big into music. She was into like Eminem, Usher, Omarion, B2K, and all that kind of stuff. So and sing Backstreet Boys. So that's where the next mix coming from, because I would steal the CDs.
I've done it myself.
Yeah, so that's how. And then when I was about 16 years old, I returned to Trinidad again. And this is where the carnival influence, this is where I actually now begin to learn my culture. I learned it late. So soca, calypso came in for me late, So that's how I have all these mixtures of sounds. If I be in myself, I can never pick a genre. Only if the music control me, then I will pick a genre. But for me personally, as an artist, I would never pick a genre. I feel like that's too limiting for me, because I just really do music based on how I feel. If I don't feel it, I ain't messing with it.
It's really interesting, my G. So this is a very interesting one because, as you were saying, you're from Trinidad, and Ireland has a lot of different artists as well. So which artists from Trinidad and which artists from Ireland have influenced you the most in your music?
Alright. From Trinidad and Tobago, I would say Bunji Garlin. So go look him up. The Viking King. You know, Bunji Garlin, he used to freestyle. Like, so he'll be doing like a soca song, power soca. And he would cut the beat and freestyle for the audience. Like, he had it so cool, like, you know. And I really enjoy that kind of blend Bunji Garlin always had. In Ireland so far, well, you know, I'm a guy always done with all the locals, so I don't have this one influencer. I want to big up plenty people like yourself.
No, much appreciated.
You know, it have Jodo the Wiz, my guy, you know. It had Kid Kuba, Fortune, Cello. They have all these guys that, you know, have really good songs. And, you know, obviously I learned the slang, some of the slang they use. And, you know, all these artists, I think, need to be recognized. If we could come together and form a one big Ireland music scene, but, you know, everybody got the individual wave going and all that. But, you know, I just listen, you know, Jonesy, all these guys doing their things. I just take a listen and, you know, feed it. I learn too, you know.
Too right, Jay. There's so many different artists, and the thing is that it keeps growing, and especially yourself being from Trinidad, and so many other musical influences and so many different cultures blending in Ireland. It's unbelievable what's happening. I think it needs to be showcased. It'll only be a matter of time before things kind of blow up. And here's another one for you.
Jose, could we do a ping pong about Trinidad? Like, super, it's like, imagine like it's only for social media. It's like best singer, best actor, best county or best area. So it's like, imagine like it's someone watching from, you know, on the phone. Like, it's like no discussion, just one boom 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 boom.
Okay.
You know, like I don't know, best singer, best actor, best food, best quick, like ping pong, like
Alright, so
this is for social media. You know, it's like straight away for those people living there.
Go.
Let's go.
So yeah, we're gonna ask you a little bit about Trinidad. So who's the best singer?
The best singer is Marshall Montano.
Who is the best writers?
The writers, the best writers, maybe books.
Anything.
I'll say like I like Certified Samson, the stuff he do.
The best place in Trinidad.
The best place is my hometown of Santa Cruz.
Oh, nice. Best food.
At Doubles.
The best activity in Trinidad.
Partying.
Ooh, I like that answer. Best filmmakers.
The best filmmakers, I had to give it up to Rody.
Best politician. No one. No one.
Okay. Who's the best politician in Trinidad?
No one. They didn't have no best politician. There's no good politician in the world. Let's just do that.
So if someone that is an immigrant going to Trinidad to visit, and you had a chance to explain to them, what would be the best way to explain to them Trinidad, a day in Trinidad?
A day in Trinidad is like, alright, wake up in the morning, you hear the rooster crow, you head down the road, you get doubles, right? You link up with your boys, you head down to the beach, you know, you look at the girls, you look at the honeys, you know, you say something nice to them, hopefully they entertain you, you buy some drinks, you have a party, you leave there about 9 o'clock in the night, wasted of course, but then you sober up yourself and then you go on to the real party, and then you start all over at 5 o'clock in the morning with a double.
So yeah, you got some recommendations from the man from Trinidad. He giving you information to all your Trinidadians as well. One love. So yeah, back to it anyways. So what have been the challenges you've faced trying to break into the music scene in Ireland as an artist from Trinidad, and how have you overcome that?
That's a real good question, and I will answer it in the best way I can. I don't think I ever struggled. I think within everything there's a process. I think some people don't want to wait on the process. Some people don't like to work on their craft. And for me, I rather continue to work on my craft, and when it's my time, it will be my time. I think sometimes some people get their time and they shadow out the others, and that is the problem. So they try to hold on as long as they could, but I think everyone will have their time. It's just for the brothers and sisters who have their time to allow the others to get theirs as well. I think that's the only problem. If you're doing good, if you have a good wave, compliment, subscribe, follow, big it up, because that's the only way we will grow. Like sometimes we see good and they scroll by. They even watch the entire video, but they scroll by. I would never do that. I just always pick up everyone. Like, subscribe. Once I know you're doing something good, I did feel. That's my vibes because I understand it's a waiting process. It's a crafting process. See, like how I meet you all. If I wasn't doing my thing, I could never meet you all. If I wasn't working on my song. Because the first time I did music, if you heard me some years ago, we might be friends. They're like, this guy is crap. But, I continue to work. Even though sometimes I would get feedback and it wasn't the feedback I want to hear, I continue to craft my work. I still crafting now. Like working with Escobar, like shape my song, like do music with him. Sometimes I do vocals that I didn't know I could have done before. So like this is the process of it. You have to go through all these things. Take construction, take advice. Sometimes it's hard, but it's part of it. All of us think we know it off the head because we watch a tutorial on YouTube. But sometimes it's coming and hearing someone who's a professional with song tell you how to craft the song, stuff like that.
Definitely. There's so much to it as well. So yeah, another one is, so walk us through a process of creating your own songs.
So my songs always begin the day before or the night before. I will scour through hundreds of beats until I find one that make me move. I'll be sitting down, but the one that make me stand up is the beat I'm going with. So then I will stand up. I have this it's like an old toothpaste kind of thing, but it's like a microphone. So I start like imaging myself already, and from there I would start crafting the words. I don't write most of the times. Sometimes it's just how I feel and I remember the line. Like while I'm freestyling it, I'll say some lines that I really like and I'll keep that, and then I might write it down or paste in my notes. And I keep going over the song, maybe about 25, maybe even more. I'll listen to that one beat like over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. So by that time I already built the hook, chorus, verses, intro, outro, the theme of the song, the contrast, all that from just repetitively listening to the beat. And then the following day,
Let's go.
Hey yo, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna do a versus challenge. So yeah, let me think of some artists that I can think of that would be really good. Tyler the Creator or Travis Scott?
Travis.
Cardi B or let me see. Or Nicki Minaj.
Cardi B or Nicki Minaj? No,
None of them.
Nicki Minaj is a Trinidadian and Cardi B is from New York. It's kind of tough because I like both of them, but I'm gonna have to go with Nicki Minaj.
Nice. Okay. This might be controversial. Lil Nas X or MGK?
MGK.
Nice. He didn't even hesitate on that one. He did.
Now he went head to head with Eminem, so I gotta give him it.
Okay. So we'll add just one of the old school members that are still rocking it. It never died anyways. Eminem or Lil Wayne?
That's tough. That's really tough. That's probably this is probably the toughest one. Mm. Man, Eminem.
Oh, nice.
That,
Okay.
that was hard though.
Yeah, it is hard because they both like. I only started really appreciating Lil Wayne when I got older.
Yeah, Wayne says things in a way that nobody would say it, and so does M. But it's like, the lyrics, M made you feel it in a way that no artist ever did. Like I grew up in a system that wasn't always like together, and Eminem gave you that express yourself kind of, vibes, so I'll go with him.
Nice. And they hit you on with the last one because it's global at the moment and the beef has been going on for so long. So what we're gonna talk about is Drake versus Kendrick Lamar.
I'm going with Drake though. And like Drake, man, I kind of dislike that people are doing this, but we know Drake gave us hits. He gave us all them hits. Now Kendrick doing his thing, and I can't discredit Kendrick for doing his thing, but I can't forget my era. I can't forget them eras where, I head to that party and that Drake song came on, and you know exactly what to tell that girl. Drake did it for us. So I'm not gonna take my boy out of the game. Big up Drake, y'all.
So yeah, that's that one complete. Tough one as well. So yeah, let's get back to it. So collaboration in the music industry is very big. Like, do you think that collaboration in Ireland works well? Have you collaborated with many artists in Ireland yourself?
Collaboration it's hot and cold. Some are willing, some are not. And for me, no, I collaborated with Jordan the Wiz on a whole project that went well. We instantly
Connected
like that, And so, I gotta tell my own story. So I didn't really have any problem with collaboration for the people that I did reach out to. But I'm a person that sends vibes, If I feel like you with me, I ain't got no problem. If I feel like you rather do your individual thing, well, I let you be that, It got people who see themselves as artists, because the music is not really just based on you. It's based on the people that you interact with. Like, how many albums are you really going to release, or how many singles are you going to really release with your sound? Eventually, your fan base is going to want to hear that. And to me, for the fan base that I create, I want them to know that I can collaborate, that I can remix, that I can do covers, that I can do it all. Of course, we already know I could do a track. But now, how would it sound if me and RomeoOutSpoken came out on a track together? Like, how would that sound? Like, I'm always willing to blend those sounds. Like, if you say, yeah, give me some Trini, and I say, well, all right, man, we link up on that. That's a new sound for the world to listen to. And I think that's what it's about. It's not really just circulated. It's not orbiting around me. Music was before me, and music will be long after I'm gone. So I'm just here with a time to enjoy it. So like, to me, it's been good. Collaboration been good. The people who I felt was really best for me to collaborate with, they did it. You know what I mean?
I know the feeling. Like, collaboration works well sometimes and it doesn't, because people are on their own different journeys and you feel like you're pulling your hair out waiting for someone to finish a song that's like 3 years old, and you're like, my man, I was supposed to finish this like 3 years ago. Why am I still waiting? This is sometimes collaborations where like, oh yeah, I'll get back to you. It's like,
yeah.
It's always like people feel like that you don't have a life, that you're not like, you're trying to put the effort to make it, and they're like kind of fobbing you off. It's incredibly hard sometimes collaborating, but you do get the efforts from the people when you want to.
Yeah.
So, what message or feeling do you hope to take away that people take away from your music, especially the blends and the different influences?
Well, you see, I lived in urban areas, but I'm not really so much a person that represents that, the stigma that goes with it. Sometimes I want the world to know that even though I was in the military, I did live in rural areas, that I ain't really like that's not in my music. It's an escape for me, like an escape from the things that I actually experience. I more sing about better days. I sing about better times that I would like to experience. I sing about a life that I would like to live, you know. My music is my creativity. It's my life away from my actual life. It's the break that I need sometimes. Everyone got their own thing. Some people do certain things, but music is my outlet. And sometimes I feel like, I'm about to get really controversial, but sometimes I feel like the only way you can make it sometimes as one of those people coming out of those areas is if you actually sing that. And I think it's actually sad that I gotta say something so crazy or I gotta put on this persona like if I'm from a mafia or something, just for someone to say you got hard bars. And I can't see why I can't just sing about, like, living a good life, and that's hard bars too. Why it gotta be some dark and menacing versus, well, good and peaceful. Like, why they can't have the equivalent impact? Why you talk about a peaceful life, why nobody don't say the hard bars? Only when you get dark, somebody like, oh, like, I feel like that's something that became very difficult for me. Like, like I tried it. And I think I probably would be very good if I start singing dark stuff, but I don't feel right because I got kids. I know I got my son, I got my daughter. I can't explain to my daughter when she gets older why I'm talking about these things when I'm trying to give her a different idea to live. If I'm being sexual on my music, and then I'm telling her that that's not the way, but I'm encouraging other people's daughters to be that way. Or I can't tell my son stick to his sports, and I'm perpetuating that gangster life. So like it's difficult because everyone wants to hear something crazy. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, especially as artists, we also need to grow and evolve. And I don't know if you've ever seen the Notorious B.I.G. movie, but he explains it very well that he wanted to move on for his daughter's sake when he was writing that song, Sky's the Limit. And it's kind of like, if you're stuck in that kind of mentality that you're always going to be the same, that you need to be the hardest person in the world, you're always going to lose because it feels like a facade. Because it's only so far you can go with that. Because you need to be a reflection, and if you influence like tragedy or casualty all the time, it's going to be a reflection to the younger generation that's going to be like, oh, you should do this as well, or what I say you should take as everything. And Eminem said it in his songs as well, is that Sing for the Moment, where he was saying, if I pop a gun, then I should go to court for that because it's influencing someone else. But it's like, if you take everything serious, it's just a reflection of who we are.
You know what I gotta ask you? Let me ask you this, right? Let me ask you this. So, when we put the roadman thing as a base for success, then you got the youngsters out here who not even from that life being a roadman. And when that happens to them, who they say influenced them? The artists. Because look at Juice WRLD.
Yeah.
He said Future had him drinking lean. But Future didn't mix the cup for him. Future didn't buy the ice. Future didn't buy the medication that he was drinking. Future just sang about it and made it seem like it was cool. So it's like I look at these things and I'm glad that I'm fresh in my music career where I can make decisions from viewing these things and hearing these interviews. That's why what you do is important, because it's good for us to hear this, that sometimes we are 50% responsible as artists. Sometimes we not, because we can't mix that cup for you. We can't tell you to go drink it. Really, it's really up to you still, but sometimes we can make it seem so cool that you want to do it. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's the kind of tragic thing about being artists is like we're trying to express ourselves in a way that represents us, but then we realize that represents other people as well, because other people have the same mind stage yourself, that being in the same situations, and they relate to the song, but they don't take it as drastic as, say, like the news, where it's like someone coming from a really privileged area, all of a sudden comes this like ghetto mentality, and it's like, man, you never grew up in them areas, but then they're starting to blame, oh, it's hip hop influencing the kids, it's rock and roll that's influenced the kids to take drugs and this and that. It's like they're always looking for something to blame, and I think artists, we need to express ourselves, and
of course
we can't be blamed for everything, And yeah, so the last one is
You don't know. I say it's our big boy Snuffy. You know what I mean? It's one love. Let's go. Hey. One love, I give me blessing. No drama, say I know what's stressing. Pass the doji on the left hand side. I say no drama tonight, me not addressing. It's all about progression. One love, me confessing. Society, I have me locked in and suppressing. Say it's one love, that's my obsession. No fooling around this time, I know I'm messing. I focus on my blessing. You don't know. It's all about the vibe, it's all about the vibe. One life to live, Hey, let's go. Hey. One life, one blessing. See me hustle every day, so me pressing. Art is my expression, sending your my hits, and you know that me have to flex with it. Me come from my Trinidad, Tobago, touchdown in Ireland, doing my thing. I said the life I only spiral, and top of the mountain, you know we go and climb. You know that the beat upon rewind, so me drop it on a dime. Hey. It's Big Boy Snuffy, you know what I mean? Bringing to you a different kind of vibes, you know what I mean? Big up no Escobar, big up Romeo. Doing me thing, you know. One love, one love, one love, one love. Yeah, it's one love. It's all about that love. It's all about that grind. Hey, I give me love.